All right, hi guys.
Hi.
Pamela, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Sorry about, what was it the other day? What was it? I don't know anymore. My life is crazy.
You're leaving for Spain. Yeah.
I'm like, what was that class that you were going to come to and then it was canceled? I can't even. Oh yeah, it was the park. Was it the park? I don't know. I can't even remember at this point.
It's all right. Don't worry about
Here
it.
you are. Here I am. Here we all are. Hi, Christina. Love her. And my mama. Hi, mama. Love you.
Love you too.
Okay, guys. Let's do yoga. So I'm going to mute you all. So if you want to play any music on your end, you're more than welcome to. And then you guys are all muted, so I can't hear you. But if at any point you need to say something, like if the sound's not working or anything like that, then please feel free to unmute yourself and let me know. So, let's go ahead and get started. Turn on the lights so you can see me a little better. Roll out my mat. And then let's just start in a comfortable seat today. So, your seated meditation, whatever that looks like. Legs crossed, kneeling. You can sit up on a block or a pillow if you have one at home. And I always like to stretch just a little bit, so if you want to, you can stretch your arms up, you can roll your head around, you can roll your shoulders around. And then when you're ready, no rush, just find stillness. So close your eyes, sit up nice and tall. Rest your hands either on your lap, or if you want to, you can bring your hands to your heart. And take these first couple moments to just really arrive on your mat in your body. So start to notice how your physical body feels. And then also, energetically and emotionally, what's present for you this morning? Maybe a lot, maybe not a lot. I feel like lately we all have kind of a lot going on inside of us. There's a lot going on outside of us, and there's a lot going on inside of us. So just noticing all of that without trying to fix anything, change anything, control anything. Just allowing. And then start to notice your breath, the rise and fall, the expansion and contraction. Next time you breathe in, let's very intentionally fill up as big as we possibly can. So inhale all the way to fullness, and then hold at the very, very top. See if there's even a little bit more air you can just sip in. And when you're ready, open mouth sigh to release, let it go. Do that twice more. So inhale, fill up. Hold at the top, take that extra little sip, and open mouth sigh, let it go. One more time, so biggest inhale you've taken all morning. Take that moment at the top to pause, to feel this breath, this prana, this life force inside of you. And then as you are ready, just big exhale, let it go and soften. Now seal your lips and start to cultivate Ujjayi breath. So in and out through your nose by way of the back of your throat. And you guys are all pretty familiar with this breath, so it probably doesn't take too long to tap into it. So whenever you're ready to start some movement, take those deep breaths with you. And if you want, you can start from your seat, just moving around a little bit, maybe exploring movement through your torso, through your neck, shoulders, arms. Eventually, let's all come forward to a tabletop position. So hands and knees. And then just same thing, intuitive exploration. My favorite way to begin practice. Just getting our bodies moving, noticing what feels good today and what feels tight, what feels stiff. I feel like most of us, every morning when we wake up, there's like a new little tender spot or a new little stiff spot. So start to notice, ooh, how do my hips feel? How does my spine feel? How do my side bodies feel? And just what's going on inside. And just taking in information. Let's give ourselves about 3 to 5 more rounds to just move and explore intuitively. And then when you're ready, no big rush, but eventually let's take it back to our first downward facing dog. So in your own time, even in your own way, back to downward facing dog. Good, you guys. And then once you're back in your down dog, start to move a little bit there. Maybe pedal out your heels, shift your weight from side to side, shake your head yes or no. So anything that calls to you in your down dog. Sometimes I like to walk my feet out to the width of my mat or even my hands out to the width of my mat. So just explore this pose and see how can you make it feel really good in your body. How can you get the most out of it for your body? So that might mean you bend your knees a lot and just focus on lengthening through your spine. That might mean you work your heels towards the ground, work on straightening your legs. Again, maybe you take your feet out wider, your hands out wider. So every pose will look a little bit different for everybody because we all have different bodies. So tune into your body, pay attention. And is there any way you can adjust to get just a little more out of it, to create a little more space, or maybe to be just a little more, let's say, sustainable in your pose? So strong through your arms and your shoulders, strong through your belly. Let's take one more great big breath into our down dog. And then at the end of your exhale, just crawl your hands to the back of your mat and find yourself in a forward fold, back of your yoga mat. Feet hips width distance apart, all of your toes face forward. Come to a halfway lift position. So halfway lift, spinal extension. Hands to the fronts of your shins or the fronts of your thighs. I don't care, but I do want your hands for this one to come off the ground. So if you usually leave your fingertips down, pick your hands up. And then if you have a bend in your knees, see if you can straighten your legs a little more by actively pressing back through the tops of your thighs. Broaden through your sit bones. And then see if you can lengthen your spine, grow your spine longer, crown of your head reaches further forward. Back of your neck is long, so gaze down, and then take one more big inhale, spine long, belly button pulls in and up. So puff up into your chest, into your back body. Exhale, release, and let it go. Let's do that one more time, halfway up. Crown of your head forward, tops of your thighs back, sit bones broaden. Exhale, fold, and then ever so slowly roll up to stand, one vertebra at a time, just nice and easy. Once you get to the top, head stacks very last. Take a few rolls with your shoulders, so up, back, and down a few times. Eventually, roll your shoulders back and down, palms face open. So open and receptive with your palms. Stand in awareness with attention and intention. So root through your feet, draw up through the crown of your head, broaden through your shoulders and your collarbones, neutral through your spine and your pelvis. Close your eyes and feel what it feels like on the inside to stand with optimal alignment. And if there is a certain intention, a personal intention you want to set for your practice today, take just a moment to focus in on that, to visualize it, to embody it, to think about it. Maybe it's a word, a phrase, a mantra, a person, an idea, a feeling. So anything that makes sense to you. Next time you inhale, fill up as big as you can. And imagine you could breathe your intention into every little space inside your body. Hold in fullness. And open mouth size, send it out. Ah, so letting go of how it shows up, opening to possibility. Inhale, Ujjayi breath, reach up and stretch. Exhale, hinge at your hips, slow dive down, forward fold. With your inhalation, halfway lift. So how much length can you create? And with your exhalation, let it go, refold. Now press into your feet, heart leads, reverse swan dive, take it all the way back up. Inhale, stretch tall. Exhale, hands to heart. Again, just like that, half sun salute. Inhale, arms to the sky. As you exhale, follow your breath down, nice and easy. Traction out your spine, then let it all go. With your inhale, spinal extension, lots of length. And exhale, fold, empty out. Press into your feet, lead with your heart, come through a halfway lift, keep rising. Inhale, reach. Hands to your heart center, exhale. All right, friends, inhale, arms to the sky. This time, hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Roll your shoulders back and down, hug your shoulder blades towards your spine. If it's available to you, see if you can start to reach your hands back away from your body. Try not to lock out your elbows. And then maybe even add a little baby back bend. So puff up through your heart, gaze up, hug in with your inner thighs, press your hips gently forward. Take one last big inhale here. Keep your clasp, exhale, hinge at your hips, slow dive down, forward fold. Give yourself about 3 rounds with your fingers interlaced in your forward fold. So if it's helpful, bend your knees more. See if you can lift higher through your sit bones. And then lift higher through your knuckles, possibly even start to reach your knuckles forward. About 2 more rounds. Soften your face, unclench your jaw. For me, I start to rock onto the outer edges of my feet. So notice if you have any little imbalance like that. Start to notice. Take one more inhale. Exhale, hands to your low back. Gently release your clasp, let your arms hang. On an in-breath, halfway lift, so realign your spine. And then exhale, plant your hands and slowly crawl them forward so you're at the top of a push-up, plank position. Shoulders over wrists, hips level with shoulders. If you want to modify, knees can come down. If your knees stay lifted, squeeze through the fronts of your thighs. Squeeze those little muscles even around your knees, those stabilizer muscles, so legs strong. Start to take little baby rocks forward and back, just a little bit, 1 or 2 inches of movement. And then next time you inhale, bend that little rock forward, start on your tippy toes. Exhale, slow as you can, lower down. Baby cobra to begin, so stay low. Use the strength in your back to lift. Back of your neck is long, gaze down. Elbow tips point straight back behind you and shoulders roll down away from your ears. With your hands, rather than pushing down, imagine you're trying to pull back and drag your body forward. Press down more through your pelvis and through your shoelaces and toenails, so lower body stays heavy. Take one more inhale. Exhale, let it go. Let's find Spider-Man Cobra. So hands come out wide, lift to your fingertips, elbows face the sky. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, take a twist to your right and dip your left shoulder down. Inhale, come through center, heart lifts. Exhale, other side, twist left, right shoulder dips down. Inhale, back through center. Go one more time each direction at your own pace. So just feel into your shoulders, feel into your spine. Good. Eventually, no rush, an inhale will bring you back to center. And as you exhale, let it go, lower down. Hands come to frame your mid-ribs. However you want to transition, just do it intentionally, downward facing dog. All right, one more time. You've got about 5 breaths in your dog pose. So any movement you want to take, go for it, any exploration, or just be still. Focus on the movement of your breath inside. Maybe you make little teeny tiny micro adjustments. So the ones I couldn't see if I was looking at you, but you feel them. So how does it feel to press more into your thumbs and your index fingers? How does it feel to externally rotate your shoulders away from your ears? And then notice if you have a big bend in your elbows, see if you can straighten your arms without locking out your elbows. So you want to keep your muscles working. Imagine, like I always say, that invisible rope attached to your belly button, pulling up and tugging back. Lengthen through your side bodies. Breathe into all that length. Let's take one more inhale. This time, exhale, gaze to the top of your mat. Step, tiptoe, or hop, forward fold. Once you have arrived, lift up halfway, find length. And with your exhale, let it go. Root through your feet, heart leads all the way to stand. Inhale, stretch tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right, inhale, arms to the sky. Now pause here, root into your right foot, float your left knee up, standing staff. Hug in with your inner thighs, flex your left toes, find your balance. Find your breath. All right, let's take one more inhale. And then as you exhale, slowly to airplane pose. So for a moment, it's like you're doing a hamstring curl. Left heel towards your left butt cheek. Swing your arms back, and then start to hinge at your hips. Start to extend your left leg back. Think of a smiley face shape from the top of your head back to your toes. Hips stay square. Bend your standing leg if it's helpful. Little lift in your heart like you're doing a baby cobra. Take one more round. We're going to land in crescent lunge, so as soft as you can. Left toes to the back of your mat, arms to the sky. Nice job, you guys. Once you've arrived, if you need to adjust your stance a little bit, feel free to do so. And then just settle in. So front hip pulls back, back hip pulls forward. Back leg feels just as strong and powerful as your front leg. Breathe slow and steady. All right, from here, we're going to take one last inhale. And then as you exhale, just set your back knee down on the ground ever so gently. Bring your hands to your heart center. Prayer twist with your back knee on the ground. So hinge forward, twist to your right. See if you can bring your left elbow to the outside of your right thigh. And then press your palms together. I also sometimes like to make a fist with my left hand and press my right palm into that fist. So once you're pressing your palms, work the pose, work the twist from your belly button. Each time you exhale, imagine you're trying to pull your belly up away from your right thigh. You can stay here with your back knee on the ground, or option to tuck your back toes, lift your back knee up. So come back into that strong, sturdy lunge position. Keep squeezing your inner thighs, keep working your twist. You've got 2 more breaths. Spine is long. Use the leverage of your arms to go just a little bit deeper. Nice work. Very end of your next exhale, so take it all the way to empty, and then slowly unwind. Bring your hands all the way over to the left side of your yoga mat. And then from here, first we're going to take Skandasana. So start with all of your toes facing forward, feet parallel, and then bend your left knee. Right leg stays straight, and you can kind of scoot your hands towards the back of your mat. If this feels like enough, this is where you stay, so it's like a lateral lunge. If you want to work into full Skandasana, turn your left toes to face more towards the back of your mat. Rotate your front toes to face up towards the sky. If possible, your back foot, your left foot, stays on the ground. Your heel stays down. Right toes are flexed and active. Hands can stay down for more support, or you can play with lifting your hands up. Explore some arm variations. Take about 2 or 3 more rounds here. Again, try to keep that left heel down if possible. If you've got both heels down, energetically, imagine you're trying to drag them towards each other like they're magnetized. Take one last breath. All right, let's come back to a wide-legged straddle position. So parallel your feet, straighten out your legs, halfway lift, and then bring your hands to your hips here. Rise all the way up to stand. Okie dokie. So here we are, wide-legged straddle. Pivot just your right toes to face forward, and then bend your front knee. Reach your arms forward and back. Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Wrap your right butt cheek underneath you and track your front knee open towards your pinky toe. Keep your legs the same. Next time you breathe in, reach forward and then tip it over, side angle. So right elbow might come to your front thigh, or your right hand might reach down for the ground or a block. Left arm can go straight up, left arm can reach forward, half bind or full bind if you want to go there. I want you to focus on keeping your hips nice and open. Back foot stays rooted, and your front knee tracks open towards your pinky toe rather than falling inwards. Heart is opening, so even imagine you want to turn your heart to look up at the sky. Take about 2 more rounds. Good work. Now really press into your feet and inhale, rise back up, warrior 2. Straighten out your front leg, and I'm going to shorten my stance just a little bit, just a couple of inches. That's optional. So if you feel like it would serve you, then do the same. Legs stay the same again, so hips stay nice and even. Reach your right arm forward, tip it over, triangle pose. So the only difference now is we've got our front legs straight. Just make sure you're not locking out your front knee. You can take your left arm forward and lengthen your left side. If you want, you can even reach your right arm forward, challenge your core. Take about 2 more breaths. From here, my friends, we're going to move into a balancing half moon posture. So as you are ready, gaze out in front of your right toes, reach your right fingertips out in front of your right toes, and then float your back leg off the ground. You're welcome to use a block if you have one at home underneath your right hand. Left leg is strong, so press with your left foot. Reach up like you're trying to touch the ceiling with your left fingertips. If the bind, Ardha Chandra Chapasana, sugarcane variation is in your practice, you're welcome to take it. Bend your left knee, reach back, grab hold of your left foot. You've got about 2 more rounds here. So deep power. We hold these poses a little bit longer than usual. See if you can just be with them. Breathe into it. Let's take one last inhale. If you're holding your left foot, release and re-extend. Now everybody, exhale, low lunge. So left toe step back and hands are on the ground. So hands are framing your front foot. Let's go for a 3-legged down dog. So right leg comes all the way back and up now. Open up your right hip, bend your right knee. Squeeze through your outer right butt cheek, flex your right toes. Take a great big inhale here. Exhale, right knee, left elbow, or as close as you can come. Inhale, 3-legged dog, stretch it out. Exhale, right knee, right armpit, or as high as you can get on your right arm. Inhale, 3-legged dog, stretch it out. And exhale, knee to your nose. Scoop out your belly, round your spine, hollow out. Inhale, 3-legged. Now listen, exhale, either 3-legged plank, regular plank, or modified chaturanga, lower down. Inhale, back bend variation of your choice. And for just a moment, child's pose. So sit back and rest. Hips to your heels, forehead to your mat. Big breaths. Just notice already the energy moving through your body, that energy that we've stirred up. Feel it. It's always there. It's always inside of you. It's just harder to notice. Couple more rounds, and then we'll meet in downward facing dog. Once you're back in your down dog, oh, here's Ruby. Good morning, sweetie. Once you're back in your down dog, just reconnect to your breath. Ujjayi, make it strong and powerful. Last big inhale into your dog pose. And then as you exhale, look to the top of your mat, however you want to get there. Forward fold. Halfway lift with your in-breath. And exhale, let it go. Root through your feet, lead with your heart, take it all the way up. Inhale, arms to the sky, stretch tall. And exhale, hands to heart center. All right, all of that on the other side. Let's see if I can remember. All right, arms reach up. And then standing staff pose. So left foot is your base, right knee lifts. Flex your right toes, hug your inner thighs together. Stand super tall and breathe. From here, we're gonna move into our airplane pose. So remember, it's just like a hamstring curl. Right heel towards your right butt cheek first. And then start to hinge at your hips as you swing your arms back. Slowly extend your right foot back and slightly up. So going for that smiley face shape from the top of your head back to your toes. Hips stay square. Little baby cobra in your heart. Back muscles squeeze your spine. Take one more round. We'll land in our crescent lunge. So end of your exhale, softly right toes step back. Arms reach up. Settle in. If you need to take a moment, kind of adjust your stance a bit, feel free. So hug towards midline, front hip pulls back, back hip pulls forward, low belly tones, chest lifts. Slow, deep breaths. All right, let's take one more inhale. If you don't want to bring your back knee down at all, you don't have to, but I'm going to bring my back knee down and then hands to heart, prayer position. Let's work into our twist from here. So kind of lean forward and then twist to the left, right elbow. So I use my left hand to kind of help my right elbow, get that leverage, and then press your palms together, or make a fist with your right hand, press your left palm into that fist. Once you've got that, you can use that as leverage. So press your hands, and each time you press, work your twist, draw your belly button in and up away from your front thigh. Stay where you're at, or tuck your back toes, lift your back knee off the ground again. So you're in that strong lunge position. 2 more rounds of breath. Squeeze your inner thighs. If your back knee is lifted, back leg strong and powerful. Twist from your center, try to broaden through your shoulders and your collarbones. One last breath. Very end of your exhale, good work. Unwind. Bring your hands over the right side of your mat, parallel your feet, straighten out your legs. So moving into Skandasana, first with our feet parallel. So just walk your hands towards the back of your mat and bend your right knee. This is more of a lateral lunge. You can stay here if this feels like enough. Otherwise, right toes, pivot towards the back of your mat. Left toes, pivot towards the sky. So you're on the back of your left heel, left toes are flexed and active. If possible, your right heel is still on the ground, and then you can choose where you want to go with your hands and your arms. Energetically, if you've got both heels on the ground, energetically pull them towards each other. Like they're magnetized. Nothing actually moves. It's an energetic movement, so it just feels different to you. Take your last couple of rounds. And then wide-legged straddle position. So parallel your feet, straighten out your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands to hips. And then rise all the way up to stand. So standing up. Pivot your left toes to face forward. Bend your left knee. Reach your arms forward and back. Warrior 2. So left toes face forward, right toes face to the right. Left butt cheek is wrapping underneath your body. Keep your legs the same. And next time you breathe in, reach your upper body forward. Reach, reach, reach. And then tip it over. Left hand towards the ground or left elbow to left thigh. Right arm reaches up. Right arm can reach forward, half bind or full bind if that's where you want to go. About 3 or 4 breaths. So keep that bend in your front knee. Keep wrapping your left butt cheek underneath you. Keep your back foot strong and rooted. Keep breathing. So use your breath to create space where there was not space before. Last round. Root into your feet. Rise up, warrior two. Now set up for a triangle. So straighten your front leg. Maybe shorten your stance just a teeny tiny bit, not much. So imagine there's a rope attached to your right hip, the outside of your right hip. It's pulling back, and as it pulls back, your left fingertips are reaching forward. So you're hinging your hips back as you reach your left arm forward, and then left hand to the ground, right arm to the sky. Or I should say towards the ground, towards the sky. So the left hand might come to a block or your front shin. Keep your heart open, keep your hips open. Keep your back foot rooted strong, and then keep a little micro bend in your front knee. Make sure you're not locking it out. So we never want to sink into our joints. We always want to stretch the muscle around the joints. Take your last couple breaths here. And then we've got our balancing half moon. So one last balanced pose of our practice today. You can do it. Gaze forward of your left toes, bend your left knee, reach forward of your left toes. Launch off your back foot. Half moon. So right foot is active like you're trying to stomp it onto an invisible wall. Right fingertips reach up. If you want to move into the bound variation, sugarcane variation, go for it. And then breathe. If you're falling in and out, congratulations. That means you've met an edge. Now meet yourself there and practice. Work on it. That's why we're here. That's why it's called a practice. Your pose, your expression, your breath. If you do happen to have your right foot in your hand, next inhale, slowly release and re-extend. Now everybody next exhale, low lunge. So right toes to the back of your mat, hands to the ground. All right, from our low lunge, three-legged down dog, left leg back and up. Open up your left hip, bend your left knee. Squeeze your outer left butt cheek, flex your left toes, take a big inhale, maybe lift your left knee a little higher. And exhale, left knee, right elbow as close as you can come. Inhale, three-legged dog, stretch it out. Left knee, left armpit, so as high as you can get on your left arm. Inhale, three-legged. Last one, knee to your nose, scoop out your belly, curl in, hollow out. Inhale, three-legged. Exhale, three-legged plank, regular plank or modified chaturanga. Inhale, lift your heart, back bend of your choice. Exhale, child's pose, sit back. Good job, you guys. All right, couple more breaths. You can exhale out your mouth if you'd like. And then downward facing dog. All right, from your dog pose, inhale, right leg high. So stretch and lengthen. Pause here for just a moment. Find more length from fingertips all the way up to your toes or up to your heel. Take one last big breath. And then at the end of your exhale, just step your right foot through, low lunge. Now, from your low lunge, big movement all the way up to standing staff. So come up to stand. I guess I lied. I said that was your last balancing pose. We're still balancing. So left knee lifts, arms reach. You're going to go back and forth through those two postures a few more times on your own. So as you exhale, ever so slowly, low lunge. See if you can touch fingertips and toes at the same time. As you inhale, standing staff. If you want more intensity, you can extend your left leg forward. So just go at your own pace, slowly with intention, and we want to build the heat in our right leg. So if you start to feel your right leg burning, that is a good thing. That's what we're going for. Every time you go back to your low lunge, remember, fingers and toes touch at the same time. If this isn't easy for you, if this is really hard, and you kind of have to use your left toes on the ground to help you come up, totally fine. Meet yourself where you're at. Let's finish the round we're on. Take one more round. End up in low lunge position. From your low lunge, three-legged down dog, right leg to the sky. Breathe in here, and if you want, you can give your right leg a little shake out or a little bit of intuitive movement. When you're ready, pigeon pose, right shin forward. Set your body down. So right knee towards the outer right edge of your mat. Pull your right hip back, so it's like you want to plug the femur bone in your right thigh into the hip socket. And then keep pulling your right hip back as you begin to hinge and bow forward. Breathe. About 5 to 7 more rounds. So each exhale, just soften, just relax a little bit more. Let's go for about 3 more. Exhale out your mouth if you'd like. End of your next exhale. So take your next exhalation all the way to empty. And then slowly begin to lift your upper body. We're going to take it back to a 3-legged dog again. So plant your hands, spread your fingers wide, curl your back toes under, push down, and take your right leg all the way back and up. Give it a gentle shake out. You can explore in your own way, or option to flip your dog. Right foot comes down behind you, right arm reaches forward, heart forward, hips lift. Send your breath into your belly. Wherever you're at, 1 or 2 more rounds. And then we'll meet in regular down dog. Just walk it out. You can walk it out for a few breaths in down dog. If you would like, option to take a vinyasa. So just on your own. Ujjayi breath, so keep it powerful and strong, just a little bit longer. Next inhale, left leg to the sky, stretch and lengthen. So pause here for just a moment, working the length from your fingertips all the way up to your toes or your heel. Lengthen through your side bodies, push the ground away, lift from your belly button. One more in breath. Exhale, low lunge softly. And then from our low lunge, standing staff. So root into your left foot, rise all the way up. Right knee lifts, reach up, back and forth a few times. Just like we did on the other side. If you want more, you can extend your right leg in standing staff. Every time you come down to your low lunge, remember, try to touch fingers and toes at the exact same time. Slow, intentional movement. So we want to feel that heat building in our left leg. Let's take a couple more. Finish the round you're on and take one more. End up in a low lunge position. From low lunge, three-legged dog, left leg to the sky. Maybe you give it a little shake out whenever you're ready. Pigeon pose, left shin forward. So set yourself up with integrity. Left hip pulls back, femur bone is plugged in. Bow forward, breathe. Try to spread through your front toes so your toes are active, which keeps all the little tendons and ligaments around your ankle and your knee locked in place so they're not stretching and pulling. We don't want to stretch our tendons and ligaments. We want to stretch our muscles. Big breaths. You guys are awesome. I can never believe how fast 45 minutes speeds by. Take about 3 to 5 more. And perhaps an open mouth exhale. And then I'm going to leave it up to you ultimately. So no hurry, but when you do feel pretty much even on both sides with your pigeon, let's come back up. And just like we did on the other side, three-legged down dog one last time. So you'll press down to lift your left leg back and up. Give it a gentle shake out. Any movement you want to take, option to flip your dog. Left foot comes down behind, left arm reaches forward, heart forward, hips lift. Breathe down into your belly. Take one last big deep breath. And end of your exhale, let's come back. Downward facing dog, walk it out. You can take a couple more breaths in down dog or option to take one final vinyasa. All right, friends, everybody set your knees down. Find your way onto your back. So all the way down onto your back. Once you get there, hug your knees towards your belly and find a gentle rock from side to side. And then eventually let both of your knees just fall to the right. Reach your left arm out to the left. Gaze up or over your left shoulder. Breathe. So all the way down the length of your torso. Feel your belly expand and contract with each breath. Good job, friends. So let the ground now just hold more and more of your weight with each breath you take. Soften around the pose, soften into the twist with each exhale. Last couple rounds on this side. End of your next exhalation, bring your knees back up. Take a little rock, so just gently rock it out. And then before we go to the other side, wrap your arms around the fronts of your shins. Lift your head up, nose towards your knees. Give yourself the biggest squeeze you can. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Release. Knees fall to the left, supine spinal twist. Right arm reaches out to the right. Breathe. And then when you feel pretty even, so no rush, you can stay in your twists for as long as you'd like. When you do feel pretty even on both sides, just bring it back to center and find a happy baby posture. And once you're in happy baby, you can explore a little bit, play a little bit, rock side to side, maybe straighten one leg and then the other, even both at the same time. And since this is a shorter practice, if there's any other poses that you feel like your body is really craving, if there's anything else that you want to do to complete your own practice for yourself this morning, then take a moment to do so. And I'm going to read to you a reading by Jeff Foster, of course. It's from his book, Falling in Love with Where You Are, and it's called A Love That Cannot Fade. If our love is dependent on looks, when looks fade, our love fades. If our love relies on feelings, when feelings weaken, our love is threatened. If our love is attached to stories, when stories cannot be remembered, our love is forgotten. If love clings to form, then when form dies, as it must, love dies too. Is there a love that is not dependent on form or feeling? Is there a love with no conditions? Is there a love untouched by disease and death? Of course there is. It is this loving presence that welcomes every thought, every sensation, every sound as its very own child, clinging to nothing, resisting nothing, saying, I am what you are, so we cannot be divided. And so, dear friend, I do not love you. I am you, beyond hope, beyond fear, beyond all conceptions of love and death. So I will leave you for these last few moments, just in your Shavasana or in your own meditation, and you can stay here as long as you'd like. Stay here for 30 seconds, for 5 minutes, for a half hour, and just take the rest of this time to simply rest and soak in all the efforts of your practice. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I love to be able to teach you. Mwah. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.